Hey guys, Eric with Rockin' H, and tonight it's an impromptu video because I had a little bit of time and I wanted to get this in. I'm leaving town for a few days and wanted to connect with all of you that like to see the tutorials and enjoy watching these trucks come to life and then learn a little bit in the process. So wanted to shoot this quick before I have to pack and go and do my thing down in Dallas. So tonight what we're going to do is you've been watching me put together the FLD Freightliner, and I've got two going together, one for me, and tonight you're going to see me assemble the one for myself. And you'll get to see it come to life as we take this, what was it, PEM Freightliner. I chopped it down, repainted it, I'm putting it back together to put on a DCP frame. So I don't want to spend a lot of time talking because we've got a lot to do and not much time to do it. So stay with me. I'm going to mount the camera. We'll get to work. Okay guys, here it is. This is the PEM Freightliner day cab that I started putting together for myself. I kind of dig these old cabs. They're kind of fun to put together, and so we're doing it. And since we visited last, if you're watching the Rockin' H No Secrets Lab and a couple other Facebook groups, you'll have seen that I taped it, painted it, and got this thing to where it is at this moment. This has been clear coated and some details have been added. They're not pretty, but they're done. And what else is there to say? I've put in a few details on the side, and that pin didn't go in there. Well, it popped out. It was pretty tight. But anyway, we're going to put some stuff together on this, okay? So here we go. Just got to get a few parts. Did not plan this out very well where you're in the camera shot. Okay. This is, what I'm doing is taking straight pins and I'm making hand grabs. I have two to make here. I'm going to show you how I do that. Okay, so these are just straight pins. Bought them at Walmart. They might be in your wife's or your mother's sewing kit. All I do is I take a sharp end and I bend it at a 90-degree angle, right like this. See how I'm doing that? Beautiful. Then I take one end and I stick it in one of the holes. I got to spin this quick for you. If you have questions, save them to the end and I'll ask for them. But right now I am running and gunning so I get this tutorial shot and get this done before Facebook kicks me off. Alright, I'm going to get my hands out of the road. Now, this is not very scientific, but all I'm doing is I'm placing my needle nose plier right above the hole where the other end is going to go. Like I said, it's not very scientific. I'm going to make a 90-degree angle here. First, I'm going to make that straight. Okay. 90-degree angle. Now, what's beautiful about these straight pins, don't forget folks, what's beautiful about these straight pins is, if you screw one up, who cares, man? You just bought 1,000 of them for about $5 or less. So you just start over and do it again, you know? Because that's exactly what I do. Now I'm going to dry fit it. Ooh, look at that, got lucky the first time. Come back with my favorite glue in the whole wide world, and I put a little spot of that on the ends. Not much, because I don't want it to splooch out and be stupid looking when it dries. Now I'm just putting that in the hole and pulling the... Okay, done. There's one finished. Now I'm doing the same thing again. Again, 90-degree angle on my straight pin. One end goes in over here, and let me get my fingers out of the way so you can see it. Alrighty, there we go. Okay, there we go. Yeah, you can't see. Okay. Okay, right here you can maybe see that in the shot. My needle nose pliers are right below the hole where the other end is going to go. Pull that off. Now I just got to spin this so I have two 90s. That looks about right. Getting there. There. 90-degree angle there. There you can see 2 90-degree angles. Beautiful. All right. Now, for those of you guys that don't know how to do trucks, especially novices that might be watching, there's no reason you can't do exactly what I'm doing. I'm not reinventing the wheel, and since you're watching this tutorial, guess what? You're learning everything I had to learn. A lot of guys that are watching had to learn to get where we are. Okay, that one's too short. I screwed that up. Probably because I'm talking instead of working. Okay, try it again. See what I did there? I mean, who cares if you if you make a mistake? Whoop-dee-doo. That's going to be too long. Okay, try again. See if we can get this right the second time. Okay. Now I'm just cutting her short. Okay. This is just, again, straight pins. Nothing fancy here, guys. Just very, very simple stuff. Now we're going to try again and see if we got it right. Boom. Nailed it. All right. Taste of glue. And whammo. It doesn't take a lot. We just want to seat those holes, or seat that hand grab so it, oops, doesn't go anywhere once we got it on, because that will make me ticked off if I lose this thing when it's sitting on my shelf. Wow, not having good luck with that. Sometimes they don't behave. That, and I'm in a hurry to beat the clock, so this isn't going to work as well as if I was taking my time and I didn't have an audience. Nothing ever goes right when someone's looking over my shoulder. Alright, come out of there, you dog. Alright, we're going to try this again. Oh, I see why I did that. I got that just a hair long. Just a hair. Alright, we're going to just push that in with my fingernail. Alright, got her. Okay, that one is in. Here you go, guys. There's the hand grabs. I did these a little earlier. Okay, this is for myself, so this is a bit no frills. I'm going to go pretty basic on this build, just because I'm not a blingy truck kind of guy. I just like them fairly basic, like you'd see them out on the highway. I'm a work truck kind of guy. Love those. Okay, I saved the headlights in a plastic container when we tore this apart some time ago. We're going back and putting it together. Little tip here, if you want to add more detail, come in with a silver Sharpie or silver paint on a toothpick, color these parts in, and that will make it look a bit more realistic. I sometimes do that depending on how much space I have and how steady I'm feeling that day. I find I normally make a big mess of glue when I do that, or excuse me, a big mess of silver paint or Sharpie, whatever I'm using. I'm just pushing these headlights in. I'm going to glue them on the back side. Again, you want to assemble your stuff over a rag, so if you drop one, it falls and doesn't bounce away. Woo-hoo! Did you see that? That thing almost took a flight. That's not good. Don't do that. Come on, dog, get in there. Alright. I'm going to set those. You can see how a little silver paint behind that headlight would give it the appearance of a dun-dun-dun-dun-dun headlight. Alright. Let's put a taste of glue back here just to keep them from going anywhere. Last thing we want them to do is fall off and take a ride. And little Insta-set so I don't have to worry about sticking my hands in wet glue. Didn't use a lot. It doesn't take much. Here we go. Alright, we're going to go back to the interior on our cab, and we're going to move these things off the, get my parts out of the road. Okay, windshield goes all the way around. If you removed it should go in perfect. Okay, that is set. I am just going to take a bit of glue on the back side here and set that glass. Now whoops, sorry about that. The danger with doing this super glue on your glass is, and some of you guys will know what I'm talking about, it's called glue fog. And what will happen is the windshield, other parts will fog over as this glue gasses out. That's how it dries. It releases a gas and it gets over the inside of your windshield. Now, if you aren't moving fast, you can take Vaseline, I guess is the trick. I've never done it, but Vaseline is what I've been told will remove that glue haze on the inside of your windshield. I'm usually moving so fast that if I end up with glue haze, tough luck, because as you can see, I'm trucking. I'm not messing around. I'm just working, and this is my truck too, so guys, so I am, like I've said before, on my own stuff I normally take shortcuts because it sits on a shelf and no one's going to see it. Again, I'm using Instaset everywhere because I want to move this along so you guys can see how it comes to life. And I will be asking for questions at the end if you got in late. Alright, here we go. Here is the grill that we salvaged from later. Okay, at this point, fellas, look at this. This thing is done. We can set this together and we'll move on to the frame. We're going to let a little bit of glue dry here and there. Uh-oh, that didn't want to sit together very nice. That's not fair. What are you doing? Well, that isn't good. Okay, you'll notice as I push the hood and this fender down, I get a little bit of wonky goodness back here. Well, that's not what we want. So what I'm going to do is cheat. We're just going to put a little torque right here and bend that bad boy up a little bit. Alright, smoking. We're done. Now we want to glue this together, and the way I'm going to do that is I came in here, I did another one just a bit ago, and I'm just gluing a little bit in here. I'm going to glue around there because it makes me happy. I'm gluing around here because I want to. And then I'm coming back Instaset there and there and there. Okay, remember I've mentioned this before in other tutorials, that Instaset will remove paint, so put it on a place where you're not worried about that dude coming apart or causing havoc for you. Next, I'm using an International ProStar frame. The only thing I don't like about this frame on this particular build is, check this action out right here. This is one I've already put together. For the most part, you'll see that these wheels are a bit narrow. A Kenworth or Peterbilt frame will set wider than the ProStar. ProStars are very narrow, and you can see that, oh shizzle, that's not good. Look at that. Huh, that thing kind of moved, didn't it? Now, I think that'll be alright. Okay, so anyways, the front end is a bit narrow, and I don't like the way those tires sit inside the fender wells. Not a big deal, but you should know that that's what this particular frame offers. I'm replacing the stock International ProStar fronts with DCP 10-hole chromes. I'm leaving the stock International ProStar rear wheels on there. I don't like these wheels at all, but I don't know. I might change those out later. On these wheels, I took these off of a trailer and the holes are small. I'm reaming them out slightly with a 1/16 inch bit, and those are done. Now, on the ProStar frame, on any ProStar frame so far that I've found, these pins are a bit extra long. So you will want to trim about a 1/16 of an inch or so off. Okay? You couldn't see that very well in the shot, I'm sure. Well, here, let me see if I can do one where you can actually see what I'm doing. Alright. There, I pulled the pin out. You can see how long that dude is. That dude is insane long and it will not fit the new wheels very well. So I'm just trimming that back just a hair over a 1/16. There, you can see what I've done. Okay. Next, using these handy dandy pliers, I shot another video last week where you can see I changed out some fronts. I'm using these bent pliers. They work freaking amazing to put on these DCP front tires. You can get in behind in there, put a lot of pressure on your tire, and off you go. So right now, I've got the pin in the hole, and now I'm just putting pressure on it, trying to shove that. What? It sounds awful, doesn't it? There's all sorts of innuendo in there. Don't tell anyone. Okay. And you're going to have to push quite a bit to get them on there, because I don't want a lot of slop in my wheels, and right now I've got it. So I'm going to fix that by heaving a bit more. Okay. Now that's, if you get a lot of slop and you don't like it, shorten your pin up a little bit, then you'll solve that problem. But that's why you shorten that pin up in the first place. Okay. Uh-oh. Oh, sure. You're not going to behave now that I'm on live TV. Here we go. Ah, dummy. Get back here. Alright, I wish you guys could see this. This is just a terrible angle, and there's no light down here. You can't see nothing. Drives me crazy. Oh, come on. Yeah, it's not going in straight. That's no bueno. Alright. Now, quit it. Dadgum, this thing just does not want to behave. It's always the first one goes in well and the second one blows. Alright, perfect. Got it. Okay, so the wheels are put in, they're pinned, everything's good there. Now, like I said, we've glued all this together, everything's assembled, we're going together on the frame. Now, if you're using an IH ProStar frame and you're using the PEM, oh, frickin' I didn't do that, shizzle. Okay, on the other ProStar frame, what you have to do is, these frame rails make this dude set up too high. Here, you can see it right here, look at this. Look at that. That looks terrible. That's awful. It's too much, whoops, there's too much height between your fenders and well, yeah, there's just too much gap between your fenders and your frame. So what I do is I come in here with my disc sander and I will sand all this stuff out. I will level this and make it flat, okay? If you'll give me like 3 minutes or less, I will have that done in a jiff, okay? Hold your ears, it's going to get loud. Alright guys, this is why you have power tools. Holy smokes, look at that. So what I did was I took them frame rails, I shortened them up about a 1/16 of an inch to make them flat, and what we're going to do is test fit. Now you saw what I did before. It was a big old hairy knucklehead looking gap, and I didn't like it. Now you can see I've shortened that up, and I kind of sanded my tire in the process. Now, one other thing we need to do is, well, you can do this cheating method. All I did was took out a cross member on the frame, or you can shorten that up, whatever you want to do. I chose to take out the cross member. You can see it slips right in there now. Okay, now you'll notice that gap is still there, but it's not quite as severe. So what we're going to do is glue this bad boy together. Okay, now this is going to be freaking ugly, so you can criticize it when we're all done, but I'm going to just hose this thing with freaking super glue. Watch out. Then I'm coming in here, if it's still dry. I mixed up some JB Weld earlier. Normally, I just seem to use super glue, but for some reason tonight I feel compelled to use JB Weld 2. Go figure. Now, you might be asking, Eric, why did you use super glue if you're frickin' putting JB Weld on there? Well, that's a good question. Easy answer for that is, I'm going to JB Weld that on so it's good and permanent. Then, that super glue just kind of plants it so I can keep moving as soon as the glue's dry. You see? I pulled that trick on you. I'm not very patient. I like to keep this stuff going forward. And so we are moving. So what I'm doing, oh, Rala, that's not good. I am squaring up the frame on the body to the frame, frame on the body, all that fun stuff. Under normal circumstances, guys, I would not be moving this quick, but like I said, I think I've got about 9 minutes left before I've got to sign off or Facebook kicks me off. So I want to make sure we get the high points in before we have to shut off. So I'm going to slide that. Whoa, too far. Get back there. All right. You'll see. Okay, still a little bit of gap. I don't really like that. Man, that kind of sucks. I don't like that. I mean, the way to get around that is you take out this piece and then you build a styrene frame underneath it. Then the whole thing will lower. I just kind of like that. It's just fun, and it makes it a good place to glue to. You'll notice it didn't come together right there as good as it could have, but that's okay. For this build, it's okay. Okay, here we go. All right, hold on here, fellas. We gotta scooch it. There, now we like that. That's gorgeous. Okay, wow, that looks dumb, doesn't it? All right. Well, we're going to solve that problem. This did not happen on the other one I just did. Ooh. Hang on, I got to fix something here. Somebody has JB Weld on their hands and got some on the hood, dadgummit. So we're going to fix that real quick. Okay. Let's see. I need a scissors. All right, here we go. Whoop. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of plastic, scrap plastic. I'm going to go shove that right underneath there to raise the front end a little bit. Ta-da! There. Now let's push that back down and see what we got. Now, does that make me happier? Not really, but it's helping. Okay. Well, we're going to go with it. Okay. Now, you can't see this very well in the camera shot, I'm sure. Yeah, you can. You can see that fine. Right back here, I can trim that piece of plastic down so you can't see it, and that's what I will do when everything's dry. When everything's dried. Okay. Now for exhaust. At this point, you're free to do whatever the heck you want. Here's the tanks I'm going to put on. They're just takeoff DCP tanks off other projects. They don't match, but on this truck, it's a work truck. It doesn't match. Somebody busted a tank at some point and just had to find one. Right? That's my story. On the bumper, to make this bumper mount to the truck, this has to be busted out. So you can either take your Dremel and cut it. You can do what I do and just bust it. Then after this part is dry, you can come in here and glue a front bumper in, and it will glue. I'm trying to do this so without screwing a bunch of stuff up. May have to shorten that metal a little bit more, but the bumper will glue right up here to the bottom of the cab, or the front end. And here's some exhaust I'm going to use. This is takeoff exhaust off of an IH ProStar that I salvaged. Okay. It's going to go like so, right to the back. Okay, just like so. I'm going to shorten that some. It's got this heat cover on it, or whatever you call these. Inside of here is a couple of pins. You can take those out like so. They just pop out with a knife, and then you can put that back on, and then you can turn this however you want. You can turn your exhaust however you want so it matches up to your cab, right? And then you can put your fuel tanks underneath there, battery boxes, whatever. You're kind of limited by your imagination at this point. This particular truck is now mostly completed, so if you have questions, now is the time to answer, because I'm going to look at the screen. This truck will get this particular step, because this is this cab right here is a replica, and this is the closest thing I could find. So that's the kind of fuel tanks it's going to get. It will have a battery box here, and then this bad boy will be pretty much done. It'll have another fuel tank over here, and nothing is underneath on this side of the passenger side of the cab. A little touch-up work on paint, and this bad boy is finished. So this is the Freightliner build in its pretty much, oh crash, that's not good. This thing still wants to walk on me. It's ticking me off. There, stop it. Now, I'm not going to move this anymore. I'm going to set this over here and not touch it. Go ahead and stir that stuff, would you? Yeah. Thank you. Now we'll put that back underneath there to hold it. All right, guys. This is the Freightliner build. Looks like on this cab, if you remember from the tutorial last week, thank you, Chris, appreciate that. I started out with a stock Freightliner cab, and I glued styrene to the inside of the cab versus put a piece on top, right? On this particular cab that I'm working with here, it looks like my styrene has cracked a little bit from me just handling it. The other one that I've done here, it has, and I'm trying not to muck it up here, this one turned out perfectly on top. I mean, this one was just gorgeous. I took a paint pen here and put some clearance lights in the visor. On the real one, the visor's blue and there's orange lights in it. There are hand grabs on the side, which I showed you a few minutes ago how to do. Almost forgot about mirrors. On the mirrors, I'm taking DCP Kenworth mirrors. I think they're Kenworth mirrors. I don't really know. All I've done was I took a stock mirror and I cut it down to fit the holes in the side of the cab. You can see how the stock one here has all these extra parts on it. I cut those off, shortened it, and they match the holes on the cab. These are the factory holes. It'll slide right in there with a little bit of glue on it to keep them in place. Alright guys, that is the tutorial for this evening. If you have questions about anything I've done, do not hesitate to leave a question or comment in the comment section. That's what it's there for, and that's why I chose this platform. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Again, this was down dirty and very fast, so I know I left a lot of stuff out. If you have questions, join the No Secrets Lab, and you know, right there, if you want to know what it cost me to build something down to what I earn for profit on different builds, where I buy stuff, anything, it is a No Secrets Lab. I hide nothing from you. So it's the greatest place on the web to learn about diecast, because it's right there, and all you have to do is ask. So with that, I'm going to let you go. Have a great evening. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next time. Bye.